What happens if you turn on the radio and you hear the American president say, "There are no more civilians, we are all at war"? Well, hopefully, all it means is that you're watching a film from the early 60s that preys on people's fear of an atomic war. And that leads us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, a low-budget exploitation film directed by a famous actor and starring a 60s teen idol. Let's check it out. Today's film is Panic in Year Zero from 1962, a brisk 92 minutes long in beautiful black and white. It's about a family that leaves Los Angeles for a camping trip just before atomic bombs destroy the city, and the father must struggle to keep his family alive. So this is sort of part road movie, part survival movie, but mainly an atomic war fear movie that sort of exploits people's fears of such a thing happening at that time. And those bombs drop not just in LA, they drop all over the world. This was made the same year as the Cuban Missile Crisis, but unlike most films at that time of this genre, I guess you'd call it, films like 7 Days in May and Failsafe, this film focuses on one family instead of the political and military machinations that were occurring. The family must confront panic drivers and looters and vigilantes and even some sexual predators during the film. Now the father kicks into survival mode immediately. He loads up on gas and groceries and firearms and ammunition. He figures out where the family can hide out so they don't get hurt. He's barking orders at his wife and his kids. He even knows how to skin the deer that his son shoots later on in the film. So I kept thinking, what does this guy do for a living? Because he sure slid into survivalist mode very quickly, knew exactly what to do. And all they show is that as he leaves on his camping trip, he's wearing a hat and a sport coat, which he keeps on for most of the film. Ray Milland plays the father in this film, and he also directed it. He actually directed 5 feature films and a bunch of TV episodes as well. I loved him in the film X, The Man with X-Ray Eyes. Loved that film growing up. That's a Roger Corman film, and it was made the year after this one. And I also really liked him in the film noir Alias Nick Beale. Now, Frankie Avalon plays his son. He was a teen idol at the time, best known for the song Venus, which sold like 1 million copies, and a string of beach party movies he did with Annette Funicello, which began the year after this film as well. He was probably included here to attract a teen audience to this film, and it's actually a pretty low-key performance he gives, and thank God he does not sing a song, or there's no songs of his, he's not singing over the soundtrack or anything. That really would have ruined the serious tone of this film. The film itself is kind of a mixed bag. It does its best with a limited budget as far as the special effects go of the bombs going off, and there's a lot of rear projection when they're driving in their car. Dad's like barking orders to his family constantly throughout this film, and his wife is sort of like questioning everything he does. That gets a little annoying after a while, but they're under stress. It's a pretty believable scenario for the most part, and the family in the end struggles to keep together their morality and their conscience. I guess the mom is sort of like the voice of conscience in this film. There are 3 rather old juvenile delinquents that show up a couple of times, and they're spouting some 60s hip lingo, like beatnik lingo, and a jazzy soundtrack, real heavy on loud brass throughout the film, and a few surprisingly bleak moments, but since you could call this an exploitation film, I guess it's not that surprising to have those in there. As a side note, I did post 2 episodes previously about Cold War films, so I'll put links to those in the notes if you want to check those out. My rating for Panic in Year Zero, I'm going to give this one 4 explosions out of 5. There is some nostalgia factor here because I do believe I watched this a few times growing up, probably because I just like the title or something. But people familiar with Southern California locations will, I think, get a kick out of some of the name dropping of more obscure locations in Southern California, like Newhall and Saugus and Chatsworth. So what's on this disc? Well, first of all, I like the back here. An orgy of looting and lust. Wow. So what's on this disc? This is the Radiance disc. This is Region B. It is a limited edition, limited to 3,000 copies. There is a booklet which is quite good, informative, only about 20 pages or so. And there is some reversible artwork, and let me show you that because I think it's the original artwork. So this is what it looks like with, I assume is the original theatrical artwork, which is pretty cool. And because it's a Radiance disc, it also comes with their sort of signature little insert like that. And picture quality on this, by the way, I thought was just outstanding. Very good. There's several extras. There's an audio commentary, which I did not listen to. There is an interview with a critic, about 20 minutes, and a 1972 interview with Ray Milland. It's about a half hour long. So, where can you see Panic in Year Zero? I don't see it streaming anywhere. It looks like it's on YouTube, but you have to watch it in several different pieces to see the whole thing. You can rent it. You can buy it. I'm not sure if there's a Region A release. There might be. Or you can also try your library, your public library, since it is such an old film. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Maybe you have a favorite atomic war scare movie of your own you'd like to suggest. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free is we are on the Letterboxd app under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link in the notes down below how to get there. Most recently, we left brief reviews of 4 very different films: Crossing Delancey, Flow, The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, and Simon of the Desert. So that's free also. What's not free is my ebook is available. It is True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs from 32 years of teaching. It's available on Amazon.com. It's for your Kindle, but if you don't have a Kindle, you can use the free Kindle app on the device of your choice, and that will set you back $1.99. So check that out. Otherwise, hope you like this episode. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.